the Colosseum, a symbol of Rome's power. It echoed with the roar of the crowd. Thousands gathered to witness a spectacle. Gladiators, warriors of unmatched skill, fought to the death. They were heroes of the arena. Their stories captivated the Roman world. These men were not just mindless killers, they were athletes, they were performers. They were symbols of courage and discipline. The life of a gladiator was harsh. It was a life of relentless training, but it was also a chance for glory. Most gladiators were slaves, bought on the auction block. They were chosen for their strength and physique. Some were prisoners of war, others were condemned criminals. A select few were volunteers. These free men were known as octorati. They were drawn by the allure of fame and fortune. Aspiring gladiators were brought to specialized schools. These were known as ludi. The owners of these schools were called lanistai. The lanistai were shrewd businessmen. They assessed each recruit. Strength, agility, and temperament were key. The lanistai invested heavily in their gladiators. They expected a return on their investment. Life in the ludus was brutal. Discipline was ironclad. Training was relentless. Gladiators rose before dawn. They began each day with physical conditioning. They ran, jumped, and lifted weights. Their bodies were honed for combat. Afternoons were dedicated to weapons training. Each gladiator specialized in a fighting style. They were paired with experienced instructors. These instructors taught them the art of swordsmanship, archery, or net fighting. Training was not just physical, it was mental too. Gladiators had to learn to control their fear. They had to develop unwavering discipline. They were taught to fight with both skill and showmanship. Masters of war, gladiatorial types, and their arsenal. There were many different types of gladiators. Each had a unique fighting style. The Murmillo was a heavily armored warrior. He fought with a sword and shield. The Thraex was a lightly armored fighter. He used a small shield and a curved sword called a sika. The Retiarius was a net fighter. He carried a net, a trident, and a dagger. The Secutor was armed with a sword and a large shield. He was trained to pursue and kill the Retiarius. These different types of gladiators were pitted against each other. The matchups were designed to create exciting and unpredictable contests. Dance of Death. Strategy and spectacle in the arena. Gladiatorial combat was not just about brute force, it was a complex dance of strategy and skill. Gladiators carefully studied their opponents, they exploited weaknesses, they used their environment to their advantage. The crowd roared with every blow. Victory in the arena brought fame and riches. Gladiators could win their freedom, they could become celebrities, but defeat often meant death. The fate of a gladiator rested on the edge of a sword. Conclusion: the enduring legacy of courage and skill. The gladiators of ancient Rome were more than just fighters, they were symbols of an empire. They embodied the Roman values of courage, discipline, and spectacle. Their stories continue to fascinate us today. Their legacy endures in our literature, our films, and our imagination. They remind us of the power of the human spirit. They show us that even in the face of death, courage and skill can prevail.